Hello everyone, this is Fantasy-esque and welcome back to Season 3 of Luminous Clan in ClanGen, the Warrior Cats clan generated game. When we left off in the previous episode, we had some exciting things happen, like the arrival of new blood and some warrior ceremonies. So, Melon actually joined the clan. He was a lightless cat that was brought in by Godzilla Star in order to be paired up with Lupine Claw so that they could have a litter for the clan, because we did recently just lose a whole bunch of cats in a rogue attack. So there was that, and then we had our apprentices age up into warriors, and obviously as part of the ceremony, one of the apprentices, the best performing one, was given the title of princess. So Blissfur has the title of the Bliss Princess, and that is a mark of her graduating as the best of her batch, which was very exciting for us. Now we're going to continue in this episode to see if Melon and Lupine Claw have any luck with their litter and to see what else is going to happen within the clan. I think this is also going to be the final moon where Daisy Kit, Thunder Kit, and Torn Kit are kittens. So from the next episode, they're going to be becoming apprentices, which means that we are going to be keeping an eye out for potential mentors for them. So I've got a bunch of things happening. Now, an interesting thing before we dive into the actual events about Melon, guys. So I think in the last episode, we were also talking about how even though Peppa and Godzilla Star are lightless cats, there is a little bit of difference between the two of them. So Peppa, is a loner background. He is a lightless cat who was born amongst the lightless cats. He was born under the mountain there. So even though he's an outsider from, Luminous Clan standards, he's still, in the grand scheme of things, has similar origins to them where they all kind of came from under the mountain. Godzilla Star is a little bit different because he was a kitty pet who wandered into the mountain and then was guided to the lightless cats. So he wasn't born inside the mountain. He's like another layer of outsider. Now Melon, again, is a bit different because Melon actually has a rogue background. So Melon was one of the cats, like Peppa, who was born under the mountain, but Melon kind of, I think, went away from the main lightless settlements that Peppa would have been a part of, or clusters of community, and Melon banded together with a few other lightless cats, and they were kind of the rogues wandering under the mountain and terrorizing the others or attacking the others. And I kind of like the idea that maybe Melon was part of a group of rogues who attacked Luminous Clan in the past. So he was probably, one of the rogues who attacked Luminous Clan in Season 2. And some of the deaths that we have had in the clan may very well have been due to Melon and the rogues he was with. Now he has since then left those band of rogues, and Godzilla Star has recognized that Melon has some experience. He is an unusually strong fighter, and that's kind of why he's brought Melon in to be his muscle. So I thought that was like a very interesting thing I wanted to touch on for Melon because of his rogue background, formerly a rogue. So I just thought that was fascinating. Another layer of maybe, the clan members or the clan born finding it difficult to accept Melon because he has a rogue background. Yes, he is a lightless cat. He's more insider than Godzilla Star, but at the end of the day, he was one of the lightless cats who have attacked them in the past and taken lives from the clan born. So that's kind of an interesting dynamic, I thought. But okay, let us go to the leader's den and roll to see what Godzilla Star is going to do this time around. We have become hostile with Shade Clan. Oh my goodness. Okay, we no longer have allies. We have become hostile with Shade Clan, which means we could very much be going to war with someone. Oh my goodness, that is scary. We could be going to war, which means we could potentially have more deaths. I've never been put in this position before, so I'm a little bit terrified, but okay, let's roll the dice, guys. We got a 6 on the 10-sided dice, So 2, 4, 6, Lynx Clan, and we got a 3, which is a provoke. Darn it. A provoking Lynx Clan. I hope we don't end up becoming enemies with every other clan, but I don't know, guys. I'm stressed. But that's what Godzilla Star has decided to do. I think he's feeling a little bit more confident now that he has Melon as his deputy. But let's go skip a moon. We have some birth and death notices. Godzilla Star spends the whole gathering remarking on Lynx Clan's recent shortcomings. Lynx Clan's leader sheepishly agrees they could be doing more to control their rowdy apprentices and alert fellow clans to threats on the border. So our relations with them have remained unchanged though, which is good. Plum Raven gazes up into Silverpelt and finds that finally the grief has begun to lessen. Lupine Claw tells herself that she can't let these feelings consume her, instead she has to learn to live with it. Orchid Shine tells herself that she can't let these feelings consume her, instead she has to learn to live with it. Magpie Heart is no longer suffering from shock. Rumors reach your clan that the exiled Robin Fern has died recently. Daisy Kid has gotten heat stroke, and Thunder Kid has gotten fleas. Okay, so the youngsters are still struggling. The kittens are struggling a little bit with some health issues over here. But thankfully, a lot of the cats who are grieving have managed to come out of their grief, so that is an improvement. Okay, in the medicine cat den, Plum Raven was given Poppy as treatment for grief-stricken. Plum Raven gazes up. Okay, her grief kind of improved, or she got over it. I don't know if I should say over it, but you know, she's the grief has begun to lessen. Lupine Claw was given Poppy as treatment for grief-stricken. She managed to overcome that. Orchid Shine was given Time as treatment for grief-stricken. She has managed to overcome that. Magpie Heart was given Ragwort as treatment for shock. He managed to overcome that, and Plum Raven has gathered Plantain this moon. Okay, wonderful. So our medicine cat is back on duty, and it seems as though everyone who can go out on patrols is ready to go out on patrols, which is nice to note. Okay, let us see what's happening in relationships, whether Melon is assimilating into the clan or whether he's making any sort of improvements with Lupine Claw. I don't know, let's see. Plum Raven prevents something from falling on Godzilla Star. Okay, I wonder what this says about Plum Raven. I mean, yes, she's the medicine cat, but the fact that she is still almost in a way serving Godzilla Star, even though he has clearly demoted her and given, you know, her powers and her rank to someone else. This is kind of interesting. I wonder if it shows how weak of a cat she is or how responsible of a cat she is. I'm not too sure. Plum Raven saw Orchid Shine the other day but didn't get a chance to meow hello. Buttercup Dusk prevents something from falling on Stone Speck, which is very romantic because these two are mates. Buttercup Dusk struggles to make sense of something trivial Daisy Kit said. Stone Speck notices how helpful Melon is being around camp. Okay, I was almost wondering how the other cats would react to Melon because he's clearly come in as Godzilla Star's bodyguard in a way. He is formerly a rogue, one of the rogues who killed members of Luminous Clan in Season 2. And after being brought in, he's almost in a way cheated himself to the top, or you know, Godzilla Star has given him this really high position without Melon having to work for it at all. The one saving grace Melon does have is his loving personality, and maybe that's gonna win the other cats over. But I think Peppa in the beginning was treated very much as like an outsider, which he was, but now that these other cats have come in, I think the clan is realizing that there are levels of outsiders and that Peppa was the least of their worries. And at least Peppa followed the system. He worked his way up through the political ranks, whereas these new cats, they have not at all. They're almost abusing the system in a way. But Stone Speck is noticing how helpful Melon is being. Stone Speck doesn't think that Torn Kid has been completely honest lately. Cloudfair mews congratulations to Sunchill for a job well done. During a conversation with Thunder Kid, Cloudfair says something too bluntly. Shadowswell and Orchidshine make each other laugh. Shadowswell thinks about how Tornkit is always reliable. When a clanmate passes by holding stinking herbs, both Lupineclaw and Tornkit gag. Lupineclaw thinks she can tell Blissfur something important. Orchidshine argues with Sunchill in front of other cats and reveals something embarrassing. Orchidshine thought Daisykit was very polite today. Melon doesn't entertain a rumor that is being spread about Magpie Heart. Okay, look at that. So Melon has already been making an impression on Stonespec and an impression on Magpie because he's being defensive of Magpie. This might warm the other cats to him quite a bit. Magpie Heart is jealous that Blissfur got to go to the last gathering. Pepper nods politely as Buttercup Dusk passes by. Magpie Heart compliments one of Pepper's friends. Godzilla Star is asking Lupineclaw interesting questions. I wonder if he is asking Lupineclaw about whether or not she has spent time with Melon and what she thinks of him, because obviously he has an agenda and he wants Lupineclaw and Melon to give the clan another litter. Godzilla Star is prancing around in front of Shadowswell. Okay, that is very interesting because their relationship has been very stagnant. So the fact that he is prancing around in front of Shadowswell, you know what? I think maybe he is showing Shadowswell what a good job he's been doing. It's almost like he is showcasing his pride a little bit, you know, like, look what I did, look at how well I'm handling everything. I think that's what's going on over here. He's like showing off in front of his mate. Melon is happy to run into Godzilla Star today. Excellent. This is what Godzilla Star wants. He wants a good relationship with his deputy, and he wants his deputy to really back him up. Melon had a terrible dream about Tornkit. Well, that's not good. Blissfur and Buttercup Dusk reach for the same piece of prey and bicker over it. Blissfur gets it. Sunchill had a good dream about Cloudfur. Daisykit decorates his nest with gifts that Magpie Heart brought him. Plumraven bumped into Thunderkin and didn't even apologize. And Melon compliments one of Tornkit's friends. Okay, that's fascinating because he had a bad dream about Tornkit, but then he complimented one of Tornkit's friends. I could kind of see Melon, like, if he has a bad dream, something that maybe terrifies him, because he's so loving, he would want to make up for that. Like, it wasn't his fault that he had the bad dream, but he probably wants to make up for it by being nice to Tornkit in real life, like as soon as he wakes up. So there we go. That's all we have for events. So I'm going to cut the recording here, and then we're going to pick up in the cat list. Okay, it is time for us to resume with the cat list. Now, first up, we have loyalties, of course, and nothing has changed over here from the previous episode. Godzilla Star still has his children who are loyal to him, along with Orchidshine and Blissfur. Now, Melon is not actually loyal to Godzilla Star. I'm wondering if, even though Melon was a rogue in the past, maybe he left that life because after the massacres that were happening, he started feeling very strange and upset and guilty and torn up about it, because he is deep inside a loving cat. And so I think he maybe left that life and returned to the lightless cats. And when Godzilla Star went looking for a potential mate to one of our clan members, then he came across Melon and heard Melon's backstory, and he felt as though with Melon's skills as well, he would be the perfect bodyguard to bring in. But now that Melon has come into the clan, I wonder if Melon, who's been getting along with some of the other cats like Stonespeck and Magpie Heart, he's kind of noticing that these cats have a certain view of Godzilla Star, and that some of their concerns also center around the fact that Godzilla Star is a troublemaker. He's pretty much ruined a lot of the alliances that the clan has had with other clans and have been maintaining for generations now. And Godzilla Star has, for the first time in the clan's history, made the clan hostile to someone else. So I think Melon is maybe a little bit concerned that Godzilla Star is dragging the clan to a place where there is going to be more of the violence that Melon was trying to escape from when he left his rogue life. So I think that's maybe why he's a bit apprehensive about Godzilla Star as leader. But, you know, he is deputy at the end of the day, so he will do his best to support the leader. But yeah, I think Melon is a little dubious of Godzilla Star. He might be grateful to Godzilla Star for bringing him in, but I think is a little bit dubious about Godzilla Star as a leader for the clan. I think he sees all these like good cats, these great cats who just want to maintain a safe family, and Godzilla Star is manipulating those desires a little bit, just to make trouble and have fun. Okay, we need to mediate, so Buttercup Dusk is going to be mediating between, let's see, Melon and Lupine Claw, so let's see how this goes. Okay, so trust, respect increased, dislike and jealousy decreased, but there was no romantic increase, fascinatingly enough. So I wonder if this relationship is going to be pretty much the same as Godzilla Star and Shadow Swirl, where there isn't any feelings, there isn't any love, it is just like, you know, staying with each other for the sake of doing their duty. Okay, now let's see what everyone is doing for the day. Godzilla Star is grumbling as he carries out a task for the medicine cat. Okay, so Plum Raven has asked him to help out with a task, and one, Godzilla Star feels as though he doesn't answer to Plum Raven, but also Plum Raven, you know, was the previous deputy, but also before that, the previous leader. So I think Godzilla Star is grudgingly doing something that the clan needs, but he doesn't actually want to. Melon wishes he could take the day off. I think this is maybe Melon wanting to take the day off and actually spend time with some of the other cats that he's getting to know in the clan, because he does have valuable insights. That tells me that even if the clan members view him with suspicion and apprehension, he is not going to blame them for it. He's the type of cat that wants to really understand other people's perspective, and he wants to know why they think that way. So yeah, I think that's maybe why he wants to take a day off. Plum Raven is chasing a bug around the camp clearing, so I imagine that she asked the clan leader, who is a formidable fighter, to help her fight off this bug. Oh, Plum Raven. Buttercup Dusk is wondering what living with two legs must be like. Peppa is sitting in the shade trying to hide from the heat. Stone Speck is also sitting. Oh my goodness, no, sitting. That is not what I meant to say. Sitting in the shade, trying to hide from the heat. Excuse my language, everyone. Yeah, so I guess Stone Speck and Peppa are spending time together, just hanging out. I wonder if because Peppa has been knocked down from politics, Stone Speck, relating to that in a lot of ways, is probably relaxing with him in the shade, but also gossiping with him about how unfair it was they both got kicked out. Cloudfur is worried Melon is overworking himself. Okay, so Cloudfur over here hasn't really interacted with Melon, but from what some of the other cats have been saying about him, like what his sister Stone Speck was saying, what what her nephew Magpie Heart was saying about him, I think Cloudfur is probably feeling as though Melon is a different kind from Godzilla Star. And Godzilla Star might be taking advantage of his kindness a little bit too much. Shadowspell remembers to eat breakfast to keep his strength up. Magpie Heart tries to set a good example for younger cats. And it seems he's hanging out with his sister Lupine Claw, who's also trying to set a good example for the younger cats. Orchidshine saw a two-legged kid playing with a kitty pet. Blissfur thinks about Star Clan and probably the lost family members they have there. Sunchill saw a kitty pet sitting calmly next to a dog. Daisy Cat is buzzing after swallowing a cicada. That is not good, and he's sick too from the heat stroke. Thunder Kid is debating swimming to cool down, and this little boy is flea-ridden. Torn Kid is playing a prank on Stone Speck. Of course she is. That's adorable. Okay, so that's all we have for the cat list. So let me cut the recording here and we'll pick up in patrols. Okay, it is time for us to resume with patrols. We currently have 97.3 prey, we need 37. I'm nervous because our prey has fallen below 100, and that always makes me a little bit wary. Because like I have said in the past, in clans that I've played off camera, they have very quickly kind of ended in starvation. Almost every clan I have had has ended in starvation. Around like the 200 moon mark. We're at moon 147. A lot of things go into play, I suppose. But for some reason, around that time is always when starvation eventually hits because of the way I play. But we have lucked out thus far, and hopefully we continue lucking out. But let's send out Plum Raven and Medicine Cat first of all. And it seems as though we're going to have a patrol of 6 and a patrol of 5. Also, we're going to be keeping an eye out to see who Godzilla Star is eyeing up as potential mentors for the kittens, for his 3 children. And these are his children, so this decision is going to be even more important. So, Plum Raven, out you go first. Plum Raven heads out to find ragwort, keeping the particular fractal shape of its furled leaves in her mind to distinguish it from every other low-growing patch of greenery. Proceed. Try as she might, Plum Raven can't quite remember the exact shape of the ragwort leaves, and she isn't going to harvest from plants she hasn't confidently identified. Better safe than sorry, as they say. Now, I don't know if I'm misremembering, but I feel like Plum Raven was one of the cats who actually didn't do that well as Medicine Cat. Like, I think the last time she served as Medicine Cat, within the order of the political system, when she was a lot younger, I think that it was a very brief term that she spent as Medicine Cat, and it wasn't her strong suit. Because I remember when Buttercup Dusk came in, he did a much better job as Medicine Cat than she did. So it's kind of unfortunate that she's been plopped back into that role she was never too fond of. But okay, let's go ahead and see what cats we have going out on our patrol of 6. Okay, so these are the cats that we're going to say Godzilla Star is keeping an eye on. Like, these are his kind of first choice clan members to train his kids, potentially. He's going to see if anyone stands out in this patrol. And I suppose the deputy is keeping an eye on the other cats who Godzilla Star is not really considering. But if anyone does stand out, I'm sure Melon is going to give feedback to Godzilla Star. But he is considering Lupine Claw, who is a charismatic warrior with who's good at caretaking as well, with a caretaking skill. Shadow Swirl, who is responsible and good at running and speaking. Orchid Shine, who is strict and good at swimming. Stone Speck, who is ambitious and good at teaching and observing. And Blissfur, our Bliss Princess, who is loyal and good at fighting. Now, Shadow Swirl finished the training for Blissfur. Orchid Shine trained Sunchill, and Stone Speck was the mentor of the deceased Goldpaw. So already we have some mentors over here that have had some experience, so it kind of makes sense that Godzilla Star is considering the cats who have had recent experience training someone. So there we go. And then, he has the best of the batch from the previous set of apprentices we had with Blissfur. He also has Lupine Claw there. And other cats that he's not really considering, we have Pepper, who is lonesome and clever. Cloudfur, a sneaky warrior who's good at caretaking. Magpie Heart, a nervous warrior who's good at storytelling and swimming. Sunchill, a childish warrior who's good at caretaking. And obviously, I suppose we can't forget, well, I wouldn't consider the deputy or the leader. I actually wouldn't consider them. It depends. I would have to see whether or not I keep that. We have had an instance in the past, like for Luminous Clan, where an apprentice has been trained by a mediator, and I have allowed that to be a thing, but obviously when they graduated, they became a warrior, because the way we run our political system is very different, maybe to somehow, how some of other people would run their political systems, or the way other people, other players treat the whole leader, deputy, medicine cat, and mediator is very different to the way I deal with it. So I deal with it in like a series of promotions. You enter politics. As cats get older, they enter politics. So basically those 4 ranks I just talked about, I consider that to be politics within the cat world. And as cats get older, they enter politics by becoming mediator, then they get promoted to medicine cat, so they can serve the community. And then, so mediator is them getting to know the community. Medicine cat is serving the community. And then they get promoted to deputy. They help organize the community. And then if they're lucky, they become a leader. They get promoted to leader from there. And if they're not, then, they retire from being a deputy. So that's the way we kind of treat all of this. So we have had a mediator in the past take on an apprentice. But I don't like the apprentices not being able to go out with each other, and I like the idea of them all graduating as warriors. So I'll have to see whether or not I let the leader and the deputy take on apprentices. I think we have had that happen in the past, and it should be okay. The only thing I might not allow, or I would switch, is if an apprentice got assigned to the medicine cat, or if the apprentice got assigned to the mediator. I think after having already tried it once, I would switch them to a warrior apprentice. Yeah. So if we count the leader, then, we have troublesome Godzilla stars good at fighting. And then for Melon, we have a loving deputy who's good at fighting and advising. Very, very fascinating. Okay, let me stop yapping and send the patrol out. Okay. While walking along the border, the patrol notices a Lynx Clan patrol renewing their scent marks up ahead. Proceed. Once the patrols cross paths, Lupine Claw is quick to break the awkward atmosphere with a friendly greeting and easy conversation. The 2 patrols eventually return to their tasks, feeling confident in their good relations with the opposite clan. Okay, so relations with Lynx Clan have improved, and that was because of Lupine Claw. So she definitely stood out in this particular patrol, and I'm sure Godzilla Star is going to take notice of that, maybe for one of his kittens. And then we have Sunchill, Magpie Heart, Cloudfur, Pepper, and Melon. So let's send these guys out. Thank goodness it's a hunting trip. There's a spring in their steps as the cats head out. Today looks like a good day for hunting. Proceed. Oh no. Melon chose a completely stupid hunting spot to lead them all to, and by the time the patrol gives up and heads back to camp, more than one cat is throwing surly glares in his direction. Oh no! Oh, Melon. He did not do well here, did not make a good decision, and all the cats are very annoyed at him right now. They didn't manage to get any food. Ay, okay. I'm sorry, Melon. That was not too great. I mean, he's an unusually strong fighter, but I guess he's not hunter material. That would have been so embarrassing. But okay, guys, with that said and done, I am going to leave off here. When we come back next time, our kittens, who are 5 months old, they're going to be becoming apprentices, which is going to be very exciting. But okay, thank you so much for watching. I hope you all enjoyed, and I will see you all next time. Bye-bye.